Gentlemen, and welcome to broadcast booth once again. As we are afternoon. Number 2 is actually just some off the field issues. You certainly at home don't care. Is Josh Youngberg is the shortstop, number 7, Javon Hernandez. And that foul ride. Good contact. There is that one. Pitch clock. At this level, another swing. This one grounded over to second. So ground out to second for her. Routine. Anybody will tell you not all outs are created equal. So those out routine play where the ball stays in, helping your starting pitch, first pitch strike on the second batter. Keep that pitch count low as well. He only sees 2 pitches as the second pitch hits him. Was Dominic Morbito, right fielder. Still no hit in the game, but Jaden Fowler, 2 here. So Youngberg starts the last 2 at-bat pitch strikes. Avoid repeating what happened on pitch number 2. As we see our first pickoff. This ain't like the ball the big boy. We're going to see a lot as that ball deep center. Outfielders are playing deep. Shadows. Hard, but 2 outs. Gave up the first base. 1 out away from maybe not the ideal start he was looking for, but a pretty good one. And there's another bit. And caught. A little bit more theatrics on that one, though, as Austin Muma looked like he to him. Regardless, that is 3 outs in the top of the first, and the CCBC Essex Knights, as they will bat.
Number 13, Manny Jackson. Armando Reno. Number 11, right here. William Bauer. Delgado. Number 26.
Here over towards us here. This maybe balls hit hard into the right fielder. The scoring started here in the bottom of the team, so to speak. Way to start if you any jack. Adam Muma quick out of the box, but one. Playing out of his glove and over to first. Long strikes being. So as soon as I say that, he Muma at last that in that leadoff man. 1-2. Back from last year's. And Haywood, love to have that piece of pitching. That first pitch he gave to Haywood, certainly over the plate. Everything else outside of that, borderline at best. Great piece of pitching. 2 quick outs for Avery Point. Avery Point, maybe a 1-2-3. This is going to be bang bang at first and safe. Chopper in between the first baseman and second baseman. First baseman calls off. Second baseman makes the play. Manny Jackson, catcher. Quick. And that is ruled as a hit. Our first hit of the game. So both teams with a base runner at first to start the game. The night that infield single. Avery Point by way of the hit by pitch. And here is the first baseman in the 4-hole hit, and that is just foul. Bat close to maybe driving in the first. Thought that was fair. My vantage point that but able to move that run. Start. That's bang bang. It's showing off the. Jackson as the first game. The game. Maybe the second. Maybe the positive note. The Knights instead end the inning on the strikeout. And that'll be all she wrote for the first inning. No score, but both teams get a runner on. As we hear the Karate Kid theme song play through the castle here. Daniel LaRusso, obviously the happiest about that Cobra Kai reboot on Netflix, but I'm right behind him in second. Grew up a big Karate Kid fan. Was a loser in high school, but now I'm just ahead of the game. As the Joker would say, I'm not a monster, I'm just ahead of the curve. Nothing's ever going to keep you down. Nothing's going to keep us down here as game number 1 in our doubleheader is underway. We are starting the second inning off. And we'll start us off with a ball here. Ground out, hit by pitch, and then 2 flyouts in the first inning for Avery Point. What do they have here in the second as it's Tyler Rice putting that ball in play and finding some grass. Turning at first. He's got 2, maybe 3. And they'll hold him at second as that was a solid relay by Muma once he got to it. Put it right on the cutoff. A half a second too late, or a half a second, or half an inch, I should say, too high. And Tyler Rice is standing on third with a leadoff triple. Instead, it's a lead. You saw 2 balls hit kind of just right at the outfielders. 1 to center field. Here's a scoring runner. Should be played again. It will, but a tag-up situation. And no throw to third. The infield. Avery Point. Heart dropped there for a second, thinking there may be a play. It kept the ball in the glove. The scoring situation for Avery Point just got that much better. The leadoff double and then the sacrifice. Third. Another sacrifice gets the game's first run. Love a strikeout here. This is one of those situations you're talking about in the first inning. Well, this is the ideal strikeout situation. 1 out, runner at third. In for the strikeout. We'll settle with a ball kept in the infield. Wish. Let's see what from Malcolm. Malcolm mentioned trying to dig himself out of this hole with that runner at third. And another good eye. Move ever so slightly on that one. He wanted that high pitch. Cooler heads. Now, Malcolm mentioned has worked himself from an 0-2. And here Youngberg, sweet spot between putting something, getting something over the hit hard. And that was just a good piece of hit. Into play and put it right where the infield wasn't. The legs of Youngberg and into the out. Close play. That was a good throw, but a better slide as he got with maybe a half a second to spare. Time was called, but maybe. Youngberg, how does he come back from giving up the early lead? Can you say watch your knuckles on that one? Dennis Maciel in for Avery Point, 1-1. The count, 1 out, and that runner at second. A lot of ones on the board right now. Strike, 1 out, 1 run. Make it 2 outs now as Youngberg gets a fair out. Gets that ball to pop up behind the catcher. And who is a heck of a lot. That's a lot of hockey. Ryan D. Sheffield. Batting out of the... Excuse me, they're back. Avery Point after the plate out, but certainly want to get the batter out at the plate when you know the next one is the top of the lineup. 2 outs, man at second. This is your opportunity to strike. 2 strikes. And oh, it's a second hit by pitch. Both of those hit by pitches that Youngberg has given up have been on the inside portion of the plate on balls that were not high velocity balls, which makes me think he's losing the grip or touch on the breaking ball just a bit. A gift for Avery Point here is now the top of the lineup is back on again. Yvonne Hernandez, a ground out. Ball hit hard to third, and he'll take the easy out at third. And that will limit the damage to just 1 run. Avery Point strands. They do get the game's first run. It is a 1-0 as we are going into the bottom of the second. 2 up for the Knights is 5, 6, and 7. We'll let you know who those are when we come back. Jimenez, the shortstop here but maybe a great leadoff to the inning. Like, for a second, Jimenez had a first pitch single. But just the Knights picked up the first base of the game in the bottom of the first, sandwiched on both single. Jimenez, but fast. See Jimenez one. 2 foul balls on this at bat. Feels comfortable going the other way. Does he look to do that as he chases after that outside pitch? And I think that was a good swing. Too close to take. Jimenez went after that ball, too. Liam Bowers will look to avoid number 4, as that is now 3 strikeouts for Alex Mack. And Bowers earns the walk. First of the game.
Number 27, Tucker Freer.
We've seen some freebies given out, but they've come by the way of the hit by pitch. 2 hit by pitch for Josh Youngberg. Has put 2 batters on for Avery Point. That is the first official walk of the game. And the Knights, another inning where they've seen a runner reach base. Can they quickly strike back and answer with a run of their own? And that one very, very close. It's 3 straight balls, though, now here. Does the runner move at any point? Not there, and probably not on the next one either, not unless this next pitch is a ball. 3-0. And easily safe. Made a liar out of me, too. He was running, and that was a strike. Take sign on there, I think, for Tucker. Liam Bowers now has the game's 2nd stolen base, both by the Knights. If you're familiar with this coaching staff and this Knights program, that should come as a surprise to no one. They like to run. Ball's in play, and this game is going to be tied as the error brings in the run from second. The ball put in play moved the runner over to third, but then that errored throw on the second baseman means that we are now tied up here. Tucker Fryer reached on an error, but will he get credit for an RBI on that? We'll check with the scorekeeper later in the game and give you confirmation on that as the game continues. It will count as a run, though, for Liam Bowers. That'll pad his stats for the season a little bit and also get this game to tied. So the Knights are able to strike back quickly and get this game back to even, and they're able to do it without putting a hit together. They still only have 1 hit in the game. It was a walk, a steal, and then a little bit of a gift, so to speak. Talked about earlier in this game how not all outs are created equal, not all runs are created equal, but they all count the same. It's like car insurance. You got to have it, but it's not always useful. Another steal attempt, but this ball's put in play, so only 1 out to be had. And this time the routine play made by the second baseman.
Number 2,
So the Knights, just like Avery Point, have almost finished through their lineup here in the second inning. Alvin Corella playing third base right now for the Knights. He's batting out of the 9-hole. Muma, the leadoff man in the on-deck circle right now, so if Corella can find a way to continue this inning, Tucker Fryer at second base right now. Official word is no RBI on that hit from Tucker. The official word on this inning is it's over. Austin Muma, the leadoff man, will lead off for the Knights in the third inning, but we've got the top of the third before that. Leading off for Avery Point here in this third inning will be Dominic Morbito. Morbito playing right field today, and he was the first base runner of the game for Avery Point as he was hit by a pitch in the first inning. It'll be Dominic Morbito, Jaden Fowler, and Zachary Mascaro. Combined, they are all 0 for right now. As Dominic Morbito sitting at 0 for 0 with that hit by pitch. Jaden Fowler, Zachary Mascaro both 0 for 1 as they both flew out in the first inning. Youngberg still on the mound here. He's given up 2 hits and 1 run to go along with those 2 hit batsmen. So altogether, a solid start to the outing from Youngberg, but of course, not ideal. Good job of fighting, staying in the game. Coaching staffs will always talk about that from pitchers. As we see maybe the best pitch of the afternoon from either team. It's Youngberg. We talked about earlier in this game maybe losing some control on the breaking ball, but that one, picture perfect. Another one maybe? Count runs even at 2-2, but as we were saying just a second ago, he talked to coaching staffs. Runs, obviously, you know, you want to limit the amount of runs the other team scores, but if you can keep it at 1, that'll be a good outing for you and your squad, and a talking to, I'm sure, going to happen with Youngberg. As a scary sight there on the field. It was, and then it wasn't, as Dominic Morbito took that one off the ear guard, it looked like. That is a third hit batter, and a great job of keeping that ball in front. Manny Jackson, not only did he block that, but he kept it. Not only did he block that, but he kept it right in front of him. And that squirts a stolen base opportunity. Instead, ball just bounces right in front of him at the plate. Keeps that double play ball alive. Solid backstop play from Manny Jackson. A solid job of getting back by Morbito there. That was a quick move to first. Morbito, what's his idea here? The idea for the Knights is get this double play. Coaching staff got to be a little nervous what they're seeing from Youngberg in these 3-hit batters. Gotta love that they see right there at second. What a play! Would have loved to get 2, but you'll take 1 like that. Not all outs created equal, and that one, whoo, Nelly, was it pretty. Second baseman Danny Silgado kind of shifting over towards the middle, giving the runner, then diving back over to his right glove side, making the play. We've got our first highlight reel play of the game. That'll find its way onto the YouTube and Instagram page. Follow CCBC Essex Knights on Instagram, Twitter. Oh, caught in the middle, and they got him! Another great defensive play! And just like that, Avery Point no longer has a runner in scoring position. Dominic Morbito was at second, was caught in between second and third, and no hesitation whatsoever by the shortstop. Jimenez, again, not all outs created equal. That one, a huge out for the Knights. So fielder's choice will be the score on that last at bat for Zachary Mascaro. Tyler Rice at the plate right now had a double and came around to score. So Tyler Rice went from thinking he was going to bat with a runner in scoring position, now still batting with somebody on, so an opportunity to make something happen, but the opportunity less appealing. This opportunity that's in front of him, mighty appealing with that 3-1 count. And I'd like to see how they're going to get that one out. It's the kind of game where it pays to have somebody's 12-year-old brother around, climb up the fence. It's 3-2 now. Here's a big spot for Youngberg. Evening or afternoon, I should say, for Silgado at second. He's involved in all 3 outs. The game will remain at 1-1, thanks to some tremendous defense by the Knights. Can the Knights get out in front? Well, they've got the hitters that they want coming to the plate. It's 1-2-3 to start the bottom of the third for the Knights when we come back. cage match or something? Yeah. When I was a kid, I did. It's 1-2-3 for the Knights to start this bottom of the third. Austin Mumma, Mitchell Haywood, and Manny Jackson. Between the three of them, they're sitting at just one hit right now. And this is a good at-bat from Mumma. And a nasty hop at third and at first, but an out regardless. So that is the second ground out of the game for Austin Mumma. Mitchell Haywood, the first strikeout victim of the game. Haywood, like Mumma, a returning player from last year's squad. Manny Jackson doing the catching today in the on-deck circle. Manny Jackson, the only Knights player with a hit so far here in this game. He also had a stolen base after that hit. Of course, he's got that solid defense going for him as well. Another play over to third. Did he get under the tag? He did not. Umpire in the perfect position to make that call there. That's heads-up baseball from Haywood to make it difficult, seeing that the first baseman's off the bag. Two outs, two solid plays defensively by the infield of Avery Point. And what a piece of hitting to push that down the line. Manny Jackson thinking two and getting two. Jackson on that, you could see it from where I'm sitting. That was a perfect piece of getting the bat down onto the ball and letting the flight of the ball do the work. Got the barrel on the bat, or excuse me, got the barrel of the bat on the ball. And the rest was history. Two outs and a man on second. Manny Jackson is having himself a game right now. Piece of hitting right there. You saw the arms. He's looking to be aggressive here with that runner at second. And also just understanding what his role is on the team, Armando. We saw him put one for a ride in the first inning that went foul. Eventually ended his first inning at bat with a strikeout. Looking for a different result here. Mondo, very popular player with the team, with the whole school, really. Athletic event here at CCBC Essex. You're probably going to see number 23 in the stands cheering on some kind of team around here. Heads up base running there. Ball squirts away from the catcher. Manny Jackson finds himself that much closer for the Knights. If that run can come across the plate, it'll be the first lead of the game for the Knights. Knights currently sitting at 1-0 on the season at home. And now it's runners at the corners as Armando puts that strikeout in the first inning out of his mind with a 4-pitch walk here in the third inning. And here was strikeout victim number 3, LJ Jimenez. Jimenez with that great play at shortstop earlier. Here with the runners at the corner. Jimenez, no batting gloves. Modern day baseball fans think of Joey Wendell. No old school batting, old school baseball fans, and you think of Moises Alou. That was a tremendous piece of pitching right there. Jimenez caught holding the sword. He strands the runners at the corner. That is back-to-back strikeouts for Jimenez. And it's 4 strikeouts in the game for the starter for Avery Point, Alex Mack. Most importantly for Avery Point, the game stays tied at 1-1. A lot of theatrics in that bottom half of the inning for the Knights, but no scoring. Avery Point will have 6, 7, 8 due up in the 4th. Due up here for Avery Point is Enrique Diaz, Malcolm Mention, and Dennis Mackel. Enrique Diaz sacrifice hit in his first at-bat. Malcolm Mention an RBI single. And then Dennis Mackel 0 for 1 so far. So some productivity in the lineup so far for this bottom half of the lineup for Avery Point. Then again, has this been that kind of game for both of these teams? Nothing really normal about this game. Both teams 2 hits, 1 run apiece. The similarities kind of ending there. Youngberg getting the job done with this game being at 1-1, but certainly not the outing he'd like to write home about with those 3 batters he's hit. But then again, without only 1 run given up and those opportunities on freebies, a tip of the cap needs to be given to Youngberg as he's pitching himself into difficult situations, but also pitching himself out of those difficult situations. John Smoltz would say he's pitching, he's not throwing. Top of the 4th inning, and the wind is continuing to blow. It's now coming from left to right for the most part, but still a little bit coming in towards us here behind the home plate. And it is a 3-2 walk, and that's the first walk of the game for Youngberg. Each pitcher has issued 1 walk so far. Youngberg looking for his first strikeout. He wants to write home about, but getting the job done. Everybody will be thinking about the bunt now after the failed bunt attempt from Mention that time. Mention 1 for 1 in the game. The only RBI of the game is off of his bat, as no RBI was issued on the run scored by the Knights in this game. Squares around to bunt again this time. Brings it back in time to watch the count move to 1-1. He's looking to bunt this down the first base line with that runner at first. Runner on, so doesn't make it too easy on this bunt attempt. No bunt though now with that count going to 1-2, and play out and left. It bounces past the glove. Out in left field. Boys and girls at home, that is why you back. It bounces over the left fielder, but Austin Mumma backing up his teammate. Or excuse me, Austin Mumma's out there in right. That was Liam Bowers backing up his teammate. So a huge, huge single by Malcolm Mention, his second single of the game. You got to wonder why they wanted him to bunt after. With 2 out or 2 strikes, he comes swinging and perfectly plops one into left field. Oh man, what could have been? Jimenez, maybe a throwback. That was a quick move. We may have seen an out there. On the runner, and the bases are now loaded. Oh no. A little obstruction on the view right in front of us. So from my angle, I think that play looked a lot closer than it really was. It's a sacrifice for Dennis Mockel, and here comes the 9. Sheffy to the plate. The Sheffy is catching here for Avery Point. He's got an opportunity and come through in a big spot for his team with those runners at second and third and only 1 out. So a hard hit ball to the outfield, whether it's caught or not, scores at least 1. And they're expecting something hit hard in the outfield, as you have left fielder playing shallow. And then, of course, you know, no disrespect and no shade, but hitting out of that 9 hole, you're not going to strike a lot of fear into defenders' hearts when you're hitting out of that spot. So right there, that was a good piece of hitting, just making contact with that, living to see another day. That was a good pitch by Youngberg. Strikeout. This is one of those moments where your strikeout is your best friend. And oh my, was that close. Caught the top part of the numbers. You catch that lower part of the numbers on the jersey, or letters on the jersey, you may get the strikeout call there. And he does get the strikeout call. Foul tip caught by Jackson behind. And what a piece of pitching by Youngberg. Another opportunity to pitch in and out of a jam just like that. But though this time, Youngberg will have to pitch out of the jam by getting the leadoff man out, as it's Ivan Hernandez coming up here in the fourth. What a pitch! And that first strikeout of the game may have given some confidence to Josh Youngberg. Tried to come back with the same pitch. Missed out on that one. Ivan Hernandez has 2 ground outs already here in this game. He's 0 for 2. Could put all that behind him with a big hit here. We'll draw out the anticipation a little bit more. Youngberg steps off. We will do it again. 1-1. What a hit into left field. That'll score 1. Quickly gets the ball back in. It's over the cutoff man's head. And 2 runs will score. There was no play at home, even if he was a great piece of base running and a great piece of clutch hitting by Ivan Hernandez. And just like that, it is a 2-run lead here for Avery Point. First 3 innings of the game, Josh Youngberg had been pitching himself in and out of jams routinely. This time, unable to pitch out of the jam without giving up the big hurt. Well, I guess it's medium hurt right now if he can get out with just those 2 runs. What a pitch. So how big was that bottom of the 3rd inning for Avery Point? To the game. Instead, Avery Point has gotten back out into the lead. Looking ahead for the Knights in the bottom of this after this. You gotta think as well, how much longer will we see Youngberg here in this game? (3-1) is our score right now. The Knights pitcher Josh Youngberg and his defense behind him trying to make sure. But here is an opportunity for Avery Point again. 3-1. Is the count. Runner at second. Big spot. Moment just got second. 3-2 count. The Knights looking to pitch out of another jam. Wind really. And Avery Point keeps this opportunity alive. Dominic Morbito is looking to get the ball in play. And if he can do that, it'll be the first time he ends in at bat today by not getting hit by the pitch. He has 2 hit by pitches to his name. He is sitting at 0-0 after 2 plate appearances. Youngberg thought for sure he had an out. And the gentleman in the blue saw it the other way, and it's a walk issued to Morbito. So Morbito cannot be held off the base paths today. He's now got a walk to go with his 2 hit by pitches. And it's Jaden Fowler who has a fly out to center and a ground out to his name. Much like Yvonne Hernandez. Jaden Fowler comes up to the plate 0 for 2 in a big spot for his team. And they'll take the easy one at second baseman and an easy turn for out number 3. But the lead has gone back to Avery Point. It is now 3-1. And the Knights will have 6, 7, 8 due up when we come back. The Knights were able to quick strike the last time they gave up the lead to Avery Point and answer back with a run and tie the game up immediately. Can they do that here? Liam Bowers, Tucker Fryer, and Danny Salgado due up here for the Knights in the 4th. Liam Bowers, a walk, a stolen base, and a run to his name in the 2nd inning. Only 2 come off the bat of their number 3 hitter. Get this game back to even or maybe get out in front. They're going to need some bats to come alive for some other players. That tree needed a trim anyway. Liam Bowers playing center field for the Knights. In a hole here. 0-2. Oh, my. It's like Rex from Toy Story 2. I don't want to use my head.
27, Tucker Freer.
Another hit by pitch. This time, we've seen our first Knights player be hit by a pitch. It's the 4th hit by pitch we have seen here today. What an opportunity for the Knights. Not all outs are created equal, not all base runners are created. They all count the same when they come around and touch all the other bases. On home. Good pop-up there. Trying to control the run game the best they can, Avery Point, as the Knights are going to be looking to get that runner in movement sooner than later. 1-1. Tucker Fryer reached on an error in his first at-bat. Tucker Fryer that error that he created was what created the first run of the game. I did not see the interference at the plate. As soon as I saw the runner making the run over to second, I took my eyes over to second base, so I didn't see what the interference was. So not only out at the plate, but it also pushes the runner back to first base. So 1 out, and instead of runner being at second, he's back at first. It's a huge call by the gentleman behind the plate. He's running again. No interference this time, and the throw is closer. But as my dad used to say, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but close didn't count for much right there. Salgado is due up, and then Alvin Corella is due up. Corella both 0 for 1 so far. Salgado. Some heads-up plays at second base, and that diving play into the hole for play of the game so far. Salgado wearing that number 5 jersey. A lot of great players throughout the history of Major League Baseball wearing that number 5 jersey. Being a good old Baltimore boy such as myself, I always think of. But if you're from the Queen City, you may think of Johnny Bench. There in Queens, you may think of David Wright. Love to be compared to any of them at this point right now, and that is a high throw, and no throw, and it is another run scored by the Knights off great base running. So Liam Bowers, 3 stolen bases in the game for him. He had 2 on that trip around and 1 on his first trip around, and Bowers has also scored the only 2 runs of the game for the Knights. So the Knights are able to quick strike and answer right back. They make the lead just 1 run now. Salgado having himself a battle here at the plate. (3-2). Another big moment here. Salgado, what an eye, and the baton down to the third baseman, Alvin. A veteran on this squad, returning from last year's team. Love to show off that vet, and a big hit for his team. You got to think Salgado is going to be put in motion at some point. And Mack, maybe, showing some signs of fatigue. It's a second walk of the game issue to Mack, or to this Knights team. And now he starts this at bat with 3 straight balls. So this is for Mack. as the only out he's gotten was given to him by the gentleman behind the plate on the interference call. And that is another walk. 2 straight walks. Issued by Mac, I should say. Given out to the 8-9 hitter. And I think that the walks came to the 8-9 hitter up with only 1 out. I think that is what this meeting of the minds. Mac's going to stay in. He's going to get a chance to finish. As we are seeing some warm-up action on the bullpen. I believe we're going to start seeing some warm-up action in the bullpen for the Knights here in a moment as well. Mac's performance for Avery Point so far as the starter is that he hasn't given many opportunities. Most of their opportunities by way of solid base. Now these back-to-back walks issued have given the Knights a tremendous opportunity to maybe tie this game up and also maybe get back out in front. I should rephrase that as they wouldn't be getting back. Not held the lead at any point. They've been playing catch-up, or it's been tied. Salgado really toying with Mac here. Salgado at second and Corella at first. He would do up to finish this inning. I guess it could end with Mumma if he bounces into a double play. Mac would love a double play, but he'd also love a strikeout here. That would really go a long way in building that confidence back up. It's 0-2 right now. The runners will be moving on contact. And they're moving. Strike them out, throw them out. No. Got the strikeout part. The throw him out part was a half a second too late. So the runners move up to second and third. And Austin Mumma is strikeout. The Knights have 6 in this game already. Multiple major league teams who will go through 2-3 series without getting 6 stolen bases. And this is, and we're not even through the 4th inning. And they usually say, it's not your grandpa's style of baseball. No, this is your grandpa's style of baseball. It makes for great viewership. If you are a baseball fan, you have got to come out to the Castle and catch this Knights team in action. I'd understand if you don't want to come out to today's game. It's a little chilly out there. Everyone in the stands is bundled up nicely right now with the breeze coming in. But hey, oh my, what a pitch! And what a way to get out of the jam. Just like that, in a blink of an eye, the Knights in scoring position. We will go into the 5th with a 3-2 lead for Avery Point. And another inning for the Knights ends with that thought of, does that come back to bite them in the rear? Only time will tell. Top of the 5th when we come back. We've got a good one here at the Castle. The pitching now for the Knights is number 21, Joey Galloway. No, not. Kind of question given the fact that J.R. Smith is currently playing college golf for somebody. I can't remember what school. J.R. Smith finished up his NBA career and went and took his talents over to the collegiate golf scene. No, this is a much different Joey Galloway, coming in, doing the relief pitching, starting off the fifth and getting 2 quick strikes. And maybe a strikeout. Jackson's got to hurry, get it over to first, and he does get the out for his pitcher. Tyler Rice at the plate right now for Avery Point. Had a double, came around to score in his first at-bat, had a ground out in his second, so he's sitting at 1-2 right now. Played 1-3 as he's in a hole, or was in a hole. He's worked it back to even now. I think we'll see pitching changes on both sides as we have movement in the bullpen area for Avery Point. And that is a good at-bat from Tyler Rice there. He went from being in a 1-2 hole. It's another walk for Avery Point. It's their third walk of the game. Their first 2 came in the 4th inning and was a big reason why they were able to jump out to that 2-run lead. That is now since been turned into a 1-run lead. Knights would love a double play here. Keep it at a 1-2 inning. And that outside portion of the plate in play there. That could have been a great frame job. I couldn't tell from where I'm sitting. Certainly caught the outside portion. Jackson up on the feet, expecting movement. Galloway says, I'll take that same spot again, please. This time, coming in towards the inside portion of the plate and missing, running the count back to even. So you saw back-to-back pitches on the outside portion of the plate, and then he came inside and went right back out. Certainly got the batter thinking, will it create an out? Enrique Diaz has a sacrifice hit and a walk to his name, and now a fly out to the shortstop. With and Malcolm Mention, who is 2 for 2 so far here in this game. One of those singles for Malcolm Mention came with an RBI attached to it. first RBI of the game for either team. Knights still don't have an RBI, and they cannot keep Malcolm Mention off the bases. That is now 3 for 3. And Bowers slips out there in center field to have the runner move from second to third. And that is another single for number 29. Dennis Mockel will come to the plate. He has a fly out and a sacrifice bunt to his name. Could come through in a big spot for his team right here. Joey Galloway will have to show off the nerves as he was pitching with runners at the corner, and now he's pitching. The Knights have been on the opposite side of this a couple times here in this game already, where they've had runners in scoring position and they've stranded them. They could measure a little revenge if they can get Avery Point to take some of their own medicine right here. This is a huge pitch for the relief pitcher. Runners at second and third, 2 outs, 2 strikes. And a big moment right in front of us. And that is a good piece of hitting there. Live to see another day. Dennis Mockel hitting out of the 8-hole. Puts it in play. Jimenez is there. It's a slow roller. He's got to hurry up and get it to first. And he does just that. And the Knights indeed get Avery Point to take some of that medicine. As this time the Knights get Avery Point to strand some runners in scoring position. The Knights got 1 run back in the 4th. They'll look to get another one back here in the 5th. As it's Manny Jackson, Armando Prico, and LJ Jimenez up in the bottom of the 5th when we come back. 3, 4, 5. Don't go anywhere. We've got a great game in front of us here at the Castle. And oh, by the way, it's just game number 1. They're trying to play another one.